Well, I mean something you see in Africa, something you might find on the Discovery Channel, something you might see in the zoo or on safari or see in a far, far, far away land. On 3, you'll embed all the suggestions of the animal in your subconscious mind. You'll do all the noises, do all the stances, the positions and the postures. Now on 3, you will truly become that animal. You'll take center stage, you'll fly, you'll hop, you'll flurry, you'll crawl, you'll do whatever it is that your animal does. Whenever I say freeze, you'll immediately stop what you're doing. Think about the animal that you could become. It could be an exotic bird, a lion, a tiger. It could be a gorilla or something interesting that's live and ferocious. On 3, you'll immediately become the animal of your choice on stage. 1, 2, 3, animals! Take a crawl, take a hop, take a flurry, take a crawl. Do whatever it is your animal does. Take a fly and a hop and a crawl. All around the stage, that's great. Freeze! That's good. Now just for the animals up on stage, we're going to find out what kind of animals we've got up on here. But just before we do, I want you to realize the hypnotist got an invisible force field wrapped around him, keeping him safe at all times. You'll not poke your horns in, near or on the hypnotist. You won't spit. You will not fight. You have no claws, you have no teeth, you have no sexual desire, and you have no anger. You will not urinate, and you will not puke. All that has happened on my stage, ladies and gentlemen, in the last 2 months. You'll be soft, friendly, fluffy, cuddly animals. We'll just find out what animals we do have here on stage, though. What kind of animal are you?
A kangaroo.
A kangaroo? What kind of noise does that make? What kind of animal are you? Lion. What noise does that make? Sorry, what was that? That's good, man. What kind of animal are you?
Kangaroo.
A what?
Kangaroo.
Kangaroo. What noise does it make?
No, no.
I ought to have 2 kangaroos in one. What kind of animal are you, man?
Gorilla.
A gorilla. What kind of noise does that make? All right. That's good. All right. It's good, man. Now, just for the animals, I want you to realize something unique about yourself. You haven't eaten for like several days. You're absolutely starving and hungry. I want you to realize animals on 3, when you look out into the audience, you'll see the favorite food of your choice is in their hair. You're going to realize you're going to immediately want to rush off the stage as fast as you can, go straight into the audience and eat as much food as you possibly can out of the hair of the audience members. Now, I want you to realize if you do come across somebody that doesn't have any hair, you'll have a natural impulse and a desire to kiss them repeatedly on the top of the head. I'm going to give you this one chance and one chance only to keep the kids close to you, and don't let the kids get completely scoffed up by a gorilla or a lion. On 3, you're going to realize you're so hungry, you're going to exit the stage, make your way in the audience, eat as much food as you possibly can. 1, 2, 3, you get off the stage, get as much food as you possibly can. It's right there in the hair of the audience. The more you, there you go, the more you eat, the better you feel right in there. As much food as you possibly can embedded in the hair of the audience. And the more you eat, the better you feel. And the better you feel, the more you eat, get as much food as you possibly can. It's right there in the hair of the audience. Get eating that food, the more you eat, the better you feel. Get eating that food as fast as you can, the more you eat, the better. Oh wow, he's eating a whole bunch of food out of his head. He must have a lot of, oh, he's got a lot of food in there, right there, look man, that is full of, oh gosh, that's full of food right up there. Getting as much food as you possibly can out of the hair of the audience. Wow, he's got some serious food in there, that is nuts. All the food out of the hair of the audience that you possibly can, eat as much as you can, and freeze! Animals freeze. The animals, I want you to realize you're no longer animals. Well, he's about to eat that baby, is that real? Wow, that baby's not crying yet? Man, that's good. In a second on 3, I want you to realize you're no longer animals, but you do have Mexican jumping beans in your feet. They're going to make you jump and bounce and bounce and jump all the way back up onto the stage. As soon as you jump and bounce all the way on the stage, the minute you take a seat, you'll immediately fall asleep. On 3, Mexican jumping beans in your feet. 1, 2, and 3. Bouncing, jumping, bounce, jumping, bounce, jumping, bounce, jumping, bounce, 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 bounce. Jumping, bounce, 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 bounce. Jumping, bounce, jumping, bounce, jumping, bounce, jumping, bounce, sleep. Sorry about your kid there, sweetheart. Lost half its scalp. Sorry about that. Give them a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, with your volunteers sharing their personalities with you. Now listen, just before we go, I want to let you know, tomorrow night we've got 2 shows. It's going to be like 7 and 9. Got my buddy there, Brad Clark's going to be doing these shows for you. He's going to do an awesome job. Make sure you come back tomorrow. Now just for the volunteers, before I count from 1 up to 5 and release all hypnotic suggestions, this is just for the person I'm touching now. I want you to realize after the show, when you go back into the audience, just for you. After the show, when you go back into the audience and you're hanging around wife or loved one, or both. I want you to realize when you're back in the audience just hanging around, if you do ever hear me say the word hypnosis, you'd immediately stand up and at the top of your voice you'll shout, "Who's your daddy?" If ever you hear me say hypnosis, you immediately stand up and at the top of your voice shout, "Who's your daddy?" Every time you hear me say hypnosis, nod your head if you understand. Good. Just for the person I'm touching now, there's going to be a guy shouting, "Who's your daddy?" after the show. You're going to realize that you are. In a few moments, I want you to realize there's a guy up there on the audience area. He's going to be shouting, "Who's your daddy?" whenever I say hypnosis. Now, whenever you hear him shout, "Who's your daddy?" you're going to immediately stand up and shout at the top of your voice, "I'm your daddy!" Not yet, if you understand. You're going to hear some guy shout, "Who's your daddy?" after the show. Whenever you hear him shout, "Who's your daddy?" you're going to immediately stand up and reply back to him, "I'm your daddy!" And you're going to get frustrated if he's not listening to you whenever I say hypnosis. When I count from 1 up to 5, all suggestions have released themselves. You'll feel better than you've ever felt before, except for the suggestion I've just given you. 1, feeling alert, feeling alive. 2, feeling like you bathed your eyes in a cool mountain spring. 3, feeling the energy rushing back into your veins. 4, feeling better than you've ever felt before. And in a second, but not yet, on 5, you're going to realize all this applause is for you, and you're going to be fully alert, wide awake. 5, eyes open, give them a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, the stars of the show. Guys are awesome, awesome, awesome. Make sure you got everything you came with, and once you have done, make your way back into the audience. What's your name, brother? Corey. Corey, nice to see you, my friend. Make sure you got everything with you. Make sure you got your cell phones, your keys, your wallet, your money, your tickets. As soon as you got everything you came with, make your way back into the audience. Got your cell phone, keys, and everything that belongs to you. And as soon as you have done, just make your way back. You got everything, my friend? All right. What was your name, Corey? Corey, nice to see you, my brother. All right, man. Thanks for volunteering. That's great. Just curious as to who you were halfway through the show, that was all. And take a seat back in the audience. Real nice to see you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, like, some of the things that we use this for is like weight loss, stop smoking, removing fears and phobias. And sometimes people come and see a hypnotist for hypnosis. And one of the things that they do sometimes... is some of the things that happens during hypnosis. Why is he doing that? Corey, shh, trying to finish the show, buddy. And you're yelling, okay? I'm just trying to let everybody know about hypnosis. And one of the things that happens with hypnosis is that... What is up with that? Dude, really? So listen, my name is Richard Barker. I do hypnosis shows, and I go... Oh. And that's weird. Just before we go, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be sticking around. If you have any questions about hypnosis, we'll be right here. Ladies and gentlemen, give the volunteers a big round of applause. We'll see you next time. Hope you enjoyed the show. Take care.